Good evening, everybody. It's me, LisaT. And it's nighttime, so I'm going to say it's Lights Out with Lisa, reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. And at nighttime, I can't see. That's a little bit blurry, so we got to put on my evening speckaroonies. Okay, so April 2nd. Language of Letting Go by Beattie. April 2nd. Facing our darker side. Ooh, facing our darker side. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 4 of Al-Anon. That's a step of the 12 steps of any recovery program. Overeaters Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, any kind of anonymous has the 12 steps. And so step 4 is making a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves, which is April 2nd, facing our darker side. So by the time we get to the 4th of the 12 steps, we are ready to face our darker side. So facing all of us, facing the pieces of us that we're not proud of, facing the pieces of us that we might feel ashamed of, facing the pieces of us that we might not want to share with other people. We face these things and we share these things. We don't stay in isolation with our thoughts and our past and our experiences. We start to share. So by the time we get to the 4th of the 12 steps, we are ready to face our darker side, the side that prevents us from loving ourselves. Obviously, if it's, this stuff we're ashamed of or we don't want to talk about it, if we're holding it, we don't want to share it with someone because and it inhibits us from loving ourselves. Once we share it and get it out of us, though, then we can free ourselves and we can then learn to love ourselves and others. It prevents us from letting others love us as well, because, oh God, if you only knew, you wouldn't love me. That's what people would think, well, I'm not going to tell them that, because if I tell them that, they'll stop loving me. I'm not going to share this with the world, because if I share this with the world won't love me anymore. The world being your family, your friends, your coworkers, etc. So we keep that to ourselves, but by keeping it to ourselves, we inhibit ourselves from loving ourselves, from loving others, and from letting others love us, and from enjoying life. We got to clear this stuff out. We got to clean house. You go around your house and you clean up all the little dust spots, and most of us don't do like a thorough house cleaning. They call it spring cleaning. Well, we need to do that internally as well. We need to clean out the junk, clean it out, get it out of us, so that we can enjoy our lives and not have this ball and chain that's, holding us back, which is stuff that we might be ashamed of or fearful of, or stuff that, we don't want to talk about. But everybody's got a past. Everybody's done stuff that they're not proud of. We're all human. We make mistakes. We live and we learn. The point is, though, to not shame ourselves for the past. We don't want to shame ourselves. We want to free ourselves. So the purpose of step 4 is not to make ourselves feel worse. Our purpose is to begin to remove our blocks to joy and love. So this stuff will block us from joy and love. So amen. Let's get rid of it, right? We look for fears, anger, hurt, and shame from our past events. There we go, like I just said. So we look for the things we're scared of. What causes us fear? Oh, that scares me. That scares me when someone looks at me that way, or it scares me when someone talks to me that way, or it scares me when someone uses that tone with me, or it scares me when I'm in front of my boss, or it scares me to have to go to a family party, or it scares me like a number of fears, anything that you're fearful of. Maybe you're afraid you're not good enough. Maybe you're afraid that you're not lovable. Maybe so many fears. So we look for these fears, anger, anything we're angry at, or anything that angers us. We look for things that have hurt us. We look for things we're ashamed of and from past events. We look for these buried feelings that may be affecting our daily life today. And I'm going to tell you, it is affecting your daily life today, whether you know it or not. Once you become self-aware, you realize, oh, that was holding me back. And once you free yourself from it, you walk it into the world and you're like, oh, this is a new way to walk about my life. I've experienced that. So it may be affecting our life today. We search for subconscious beliefs about ourselves and others that may be interfering with the quality of our relationships. So subconscious beliefs, anything you've told yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again becomes a belief. It's just a thought you've said over and over and over enough times, become a belief, and it gets buried in our subconscious, especially stuff that was instilled in there when we were children. I can't get my needs met. I shouldn't say, I shouldn't express my feelings. I shouldn't express my anger. I shouldn't be this way or that way. Any of these shoulds or shouldn't ofs. And with other people too. If we think, well, they shouldn't talk to me that way or they shouldn't behave that way, then we develop these beliefs and they get into our subconscious. And it interferes with the quality of our relationships because we're looking through those filters, that we don't see things clearly. We see through the filter of that fear, through the filter of that shame, through the filter of that guilt, through the filter of that anger. We see through filters, and then we can't see the reality of the relationships that we're in. So these beliefs say, oh, here you go. I am not lovable. I am a burden to those around me. People can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. I don't deserve to be happy and successful. So any of these kinds of thoughts. So it might not be exactly that, but something like that. Life isn't worth living. Oh, we hear that a lot with COVID, right? I hear that a lot with people. Oh, what's the point? Or, oh, this is never going to end. And so what did I say there? Living. Life isn't worth living. That's not true. There's still life worth living. The trees aren't out there saying, oh, I might as well not grow anymore, COVID's here. Or the fish aren't out there saying, well, might as well give up and not swim upstream this year because there's, there's still a reason to live. But we put this belief that life isn't worth living. So we look at our behaviors and patterns with an eye towards discerning and self-defeating ones. So we want to look for we want to discern and looking inside, where are these self-defeating beliefs, these self-defeating thoughts? With love and compassion for ourselves, we try to unearth all of our guilt, earned and unearned. Some guilt is earned, some guilt is not earned. So we look at both and expose it to the light. Bring it into the light, bring it out into the open. We perform this examination without fear of what we shall find. So you got to be fearless and just dig deep and dig and don't worry about what you're going to find, or don't be scared of what you're going to find. Just find it so you can bring it to the light. So we got to do this examination without fear of what we shall find, because this soul searching can cleanse us like we clean house, like a physical house. It will clean this internal house. So it will cleanse us and help us feel better about ourselves than we ever dreamed possible. Feel better than you ever dreamed possible. You can feel better than you ever imagined by doing an internal house cleaning. Isn't that amazing? So here's the prayer for this one. God, help me search out the blocks and barriers within myself. Bring what I need to know into my conscious mind. Bring it up into my conscious mind so I can see it clearly, so I can be free of it. Show me what I need to know about myself. Show me what I need to know. Maybe it's, these things deep inside. It could be it could be this weird thing about pride, like, oh, I'm too proud to do that, or pride is also like a better than or worse than. If you feel better than anybody or you feel less than anybody, you got a pride issue. We're all equals. If you feel envious of someone, there's an issue there. You should never feel envious of someone. You have something they want probably, and you think you have something they want, but no, we're all equals. We've all got our own basket. So we got to look at all this stuff: envy, jealousy, anger, pride, fears, anger, hurt, shame. Look at it. Bring it to the light, clean it up. And one of the best ways to do that is writing. Get it on paper. I get things out of my head and onto paper, and then I can see it clearly. These thoughts, if you're having spinny thoughts, write it out. It takes it out of your head. We got to get this stuff out of us. It's like in massage therapy. We want to get the tension out of us. I massage people so that I can get the tension out. We got to get this other stuff, this shame, because it's causing internal heart, soul tension. Amen. Facing the darker side. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.